Today, we're going to talk about the importance and the critical role each of us has as a voter here in Illinois. You know, Margo, I thank you so much for coming in, and we appreciate your time today, first and foremost.
My pleasure to be here.
And you know, today, everybody knows that if we're doing these interviews, we're not taking a position or supporting one candidate versus the other. But our goal here at Sterk Family Law and through Southland TV is to say to people, you have a voice. Time to stand up and use it. Instead of everybody being critical, instead of everybody having, what do we call that, fake news, or instead of everybody having all this negativity in the world, I'm tired of it. It's time to talk about what we can do for real change, don't you think?
I absolutely agree. You know, I walk door to door, I knock on people's doors, and the one thing that I really dislike the most and just cuts me to the core is when people say, I don't vote, it doesn't matter, I don't care. And I don't care whether you vote for me or for somebody else, but the fact that somebody doesn't want to participate is kind of heartbreaking to me. I would like to see everyone participate. This is so important at every level, state, local, federal, that people participate and let their voice be heard.
Right, I mean, we talk about some fundamental rights. To me, the most essential right, and perhaps the only right we have, is the right to participate in the process. And where do we get process rights? From voting.
Exactly. And
if you think about it.
Every single vote counts. I think a lot of people think, well, it doesn't matter if I organize my day to get out there because other people are voting. But actually, there are a lot of elections, even elections right here in this area, that are decided by less than 10 votes.
Isn't that interesting? And that critical nature that you count.
Out of thousands of votes, you know, it comes down to just a handful. So your vote does count. You do need to organize your day. And if you can't make it out on election day, right now in the state of Illinois, you have lots of options. You can vote by mail, and we have early voting in many sites in the area that is going to start early in October.
It's incredible. I mean, you can be accommodated in many different ways, and you have the ability to have a voice. And I think that it's interesting because you hear people saying, I have the right to this, I have the right to that. And I think to myself, wait a minute, you have the responsibility for this and the responsibility for that. How do you view voting? Is it our responsibility?
Absolutely it is. I think that people need to participate for the process to be robust and for it to work the way that it's intended to work in the Constitution. If we have apathy and if we have elected officials who aren't representative because groups have dropped out, then that's a big problem for everyone.
You know, and I've heard you say from time to time that it's actually the people in your own community that bring you topics that need to be addressed.
Absolutely. I love it when people come to my office and say, Margo, I have a really good idea for a bill.
Right.
Or, you know, Margo, I need you to vote this way. I do want to hear from everybody in the district all the time about what they're thinking, what's on their mind, what are the most important issues. And, you know, I try to vote the way people in District 37 want me to vote.
Sure.
I don't just
really
make things up.
Right. You're a delegate. They're voting you into office, and you are the one that is their delegate to go be their voice in Springfield.
I am their representative.
That's
and I need to be representing.
And you need to hear from them, and you need to have them vote. Now, I also want to talk to you today about, you know, the importance of elections, judicial elections. What's your view on that?
Here in Illinois, judges are elected, not appointed. And so it's really important that you try to educate yourself a little bit about who are these folks and what are their backgrounds. Do they have a good background? Were they recommended? Do they have a reputation for integrity? And vote all the way down to the bottom of the ballot. You know, people get all excited about what's happening in Washington, but if you look at your day-to-day life, so much of what's happening in your day-to-day life is affected by your trustees, your mayor, your state representative, your state senator, your fire board, your school board, and your judges.
Absolutely. All of them, from everything. If you're going down the ballot, and you know you can find out good information, you just have a few minutes to take the time to educate yourself. So if we change it from the concept of a right to a responsibility, and I think if we could change that attitude and just understand that you have the ability to be heard and you have the ability to make change.
Absolutely.
We talk about this concept and this motto of change. Be who you say you want to be and go to the polls and vote.
Absolutely. Please vote.
It doesn't matter who wins, who loses. You need to vote, and that's what our message here today is. So on behalf of Sterk Family Law and the ability to be able to communicate with you through Southland TV and being able to talk to Margo McDermed, we appreciate your time and we hope that you get to the polls in November. Thank you.